Comrades, we gather here today on the last day of 2024. 2024 has been an entire year where the Palestinians have endured continuous bombings. 2024 has been a year where the Palestinians in Gaza have endured multiple displacements. And 2024 has been an entire year where the Palestinians have had to endure the constant murder of their loved ones, children, elderly, and disabled. The genocide of the Palestinians by the Israeli government has been going on for over 450 days, and this is on a background of 75 years of occupation, apartheid, and ethnic cleansing. The indiscriminate targeting by the Israelis of Palestinians has been relentless and shocking. Towards the end of 2023, we saw outrage at the Israeli targeting of the Al-Shifa hospital. Then we were told that it's inconceivable that Israel would target a hospital. How that narrative has changed, where over a year has passed and we witnessed over the last couple of days the destruction by the Israelis of the last standing hospital in Northern Gaza, the Kamal Adwan Hospital, and not an eyelid battered. As a doctor, it pains me to watch the events unfold. I can only apologize to my colleagues working in Gaza for not doing anything as their hospital was surrounded by IDF soldiers and tanks. I can only apologize to my colleagues in Gaza for just standing by and watching from the comforts of my home as I see the forced evacuation of critically ill patients from the hospital. I can only apologize to my colleagues in Gaza for continuing with my life as normal whilst healthcare workers are being taken hostage by the Israeli army and tortured for simply doing their job. I can only apologize to my colleagues in Gaza who had their hospitals burned just because the Israeli government doesn't see Palestinians as humans. I can't bear to think what the Israelis are doing to a fellow doctor, Dr Hussain Abu Safiya, who is currently taken as hostage and being held in a prison notorious for the torture of its occupants. I join the many doctors worldwide in calling for his immediate release. The targeting of hospitals by the Israeli government is a complete contradiction of international law. It's obvious to anyone with a conscience that you should not intentionally target healthcare workers and hospitals. However, for some reason our government supports this. They continue to provide spy planes flying over Gaza on almost a daily basis. They continue to send weapons and influence by the Israelis to break international law. The complete disregard of the upholding of international law when it comes to this conflict means our politicians can no longer credibly take the moral high ground in any conflict. They can no longer lecture any country on human rights or anything else. They've lost all sense of credibility. We continue to gather together on a regular basis in our numbers to stand up against this, calling for peace and justice. But our demands are no longer just calling for a ceasefire. Our demands are no longer just calling for a stop in arms sales. Our demands are no longer just calling for sanctions or even just calling for the Israeli leadership to be arrested and held to account. We will not stop protesting until every single individual who facilitated this, who supported this, and allowed it to happen is brought to justice. We will not stop demonstrating. We will not stop demonstrating until the likes of Keir Starmer and David Lammy are put on trial for their facilitation of a genocide. We will not stop calling for boycotts until it is financially inconceivable for any company to support Israel. To obtain peace, we need to organize. And believe me, we will continue to organize. In the words of Martin Luther King, those who love peace must learn to organize as effectively as those who love war. Thank you very much.